My name is Dr. Juliette Scantlebury, Juliette, Scantlebury, Scantlebury.
And where are you employed?
At University of Tennessee, at a West Tennessee Regional Forensic Center.
And what's your position?
I'm an assistant medical examiner.
How long have you been in that position?
6 years.
And what does your job consist of?
My job consists of performing medical legal autopsies to determine cause and manner of death in certain cases in this jurisdiction.
So I want to talk a little bit about your background. Could you tell the jury about your education?
Yes. So I completed a Bachelor of Science in Biology at Howard University. Then I completed my medical degree at Howard University College of Medicine. My anatomic and clinical pathology residency was at Washington University in St. Louis. And then my last training was in forensic pathology fellowship at St. Louis University.
And are you board certified?
I am.
And are you a licensed physician in Tennessee?
I am.
And could you tell the jury what is forensic pathology?
So forensic pathology is a specialized branch of medicine that examines deceased persons to determine the cause and manner of death in a medical legal approach.
So what does a forensic pathologist do?
So a forensic pathologist performs autopsies based on the jurisdiction that they're working in to determine the cause and manner of death for certain types of cases that are under our purview.
And what exactly is an autopsy?
So an autopsy is an extensive examination of a deceased person, had an external examination and an internal examination of the body. So you look at everything from hair color, eye color, their body habitus, see if they have any scars, tattoos. That's the external examination. And then the internal examination, depending on the level of autopsy, we'll look at all body cavities, we'll weigh all organs, we'll see if there's any fluid or any evidence of disease in any organs. And we also open the head and look at the brain, and we take certain fluids to be able to test to determine by toxicology or histology to determine, and with all that together, we determine what most likely caused the death for a person if we do an autopsy.
So Dr. Scantlebury, are there different stages of an autopsy?
Yes.
And what are those stages?
Okay. Autopsy itself is looking at the body, but it starts from the investigation. So an investigator will give us some information, and the information we get from the investigator determine what type of autopsy we need to do. And if there's determined that a full autopsy needs to be performed, we might need x-rays. We do that first. Someone will help take all the clothing off, if there are any, take necessary pictures, necessary measurements of the body, the height, weight, and any other identifying characteristics on the body. And then move on to the internal part, and that's where we'll make an incision to open up the body cavity to see the internal cavity and see all the organs and any changes that might have happened that might be related to death or otherwise.
And have you performed an autopsy before?
I have.
About how many would you say?
Over 2,000. I stopped counting after that.
So could you explain to the jury, what does cause of death mean?
So cause of death is the immediate reason that led to a person's death. So it may have different ways of saying, so if it's natural, it would be what medical disease led to the person's death, or if there's any kind of injury that caused the person to no longer be alive.
And is that different from manner of death?
Yes.
How is it different?
So manner of death is the classification of that type of death it was. So it will be how you would want to classify the death. So there are 5 manners of death in this jurisdiction. It may vary in places, but here there's natural, accident, suicide, homicide, and undetermined.
And have you ever testified about your findings from an autopsy you did?
Yes.
And have you ever been qualified as an expert witness in the area of forensic pathology?
I have.
And have you been qualified in the courts of this county and other counties?
I have.
Where have you been qualified before?
Illinois, Missouri, and Tennessee.
Okay. Your Honor, I tendered Dr. Scantlebury as an expert in forensic pathology and asked that she be allowed to state her opinions as to a reasonable degree of certainty, medical certainty.
No objection, Your Honor. The court will find that Dr. Scantlebury is is an expert in the area of forensic pathology, therefore she can testify as to the causal manner of death and give her opinions as to that matter.
Thank you. Dr. Scantlebury, I want to ask you about a specific autopsy. Did you perform an autopsy for an Adolph Thornton Jr.?
I did,
Okay. And do you recall when this autopsy was performed?
yes.
When was it performed?
November 18th, 2021.
Okay. And during the course of conducting this autopsy, did you also take pictures of Mr. Thornton's body?
Pictures were taken.
Okay.
No objections to any of this.
Okay. I'm passing you a few of the pictures from this autopsy. Dr. Scantlebury, do you recognize the photographs we just handed you?
I do.
Okay. And do they accurately depict the victim and the evidence during the autopsy?
They do.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like to have these photos of the autopsy entered into evidence and marked as the next number exhibit.
Well, she needs to testify about what they are.
If we could enter them as a collective exhibit?
Well, that's fine, but she still, for the record, we need to know what they are. She needs to testify to each of them individually.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to publish them, that makes me no difference, but she needs to tell us what each one of them
Dr. Scantlebury, if you would look at that first picture, what is shown in that first picture?
So this first picture shows the Mr. Thornton on the right side of his body, but some of his head and his right shoulder, and it shows some gunshot wounds of his right jaw, right neck, and right shoulder.
And what about the second picture?
This is a shot of his right upper extremity of gunshot wounds of the right forearm, so here and here.
And what about the third picture?
This is another shot of the right side of his body, mostly with the right arm, and it shows his right hand, and there's a gunshot wound of his right wrist, and it shows another gunshot wound of his right forearm.
And as to the fourth picture?
This shows some other gunshot wounds of his left upper extremity.
And the fifth picture?
So this picture shows the back of Mr. Thornton's body, and you can see both arms and his back, and you can see the majority of the gunshot wounds of the back, and you can also see some gunshot wounds of his upper extremities.
And the sixth picture?
This is another picture showing the same thing, but it was taken from the left side of the body, showing gunshot wounds of the back and upper extremities.
And the seventh picture?
This is a closer view of the gunshot wounds of the back from the left side of the body.
And the eighth picture?
This is an overall view of the bullet fragments that were recovered from the right jaw from Mr. Thornton.
And the ninth picture?
These are bullet fragments from the torso from Mr. Thornton, pictures of bullet fragments.
And the 10th photo?
This is shows a picture of the remote bullet from the left thigh.
And the 11th?
This is a remote bullet from the right lobe of the liver.
And the 12th?
This is a bullet core fragment from the right chest.
The 13th?
This is a bullet from the lower mid-back.
The 14th?
And this is a remote bullet from the right buttock.
Your Honor, we'd like to have these photos of the autopsy entered as a collective exhibit.
No objection to any of that.
We're gonna make this a collective exhibit. Pages. The first 7 pages are multiple pictures of Mr. Thornton's body with multiple gunshot wounds. The next 7 are pictures of the fragments that were removed from different parts of his body. We'll mark this as collected exhibit 31.
Thank you. May we have permission to publish?
Yes.
Dr. Scantlebury, we're going to start with the first photo that you viewed. Could you tell us what is seen in this photo?
So in this photo, you see the right side of Mr. Thornton's body. That rectangular object is the case placard with the case number associated with this case can be seen. This will help you attach that photo to that particular case. And it can also use the scale for the wounds or anything you need to measure on the body. So on the right side of the body, you see those defects in his right jaw and right neck. Those are gunshot wounds of his right neck and right jaw. And then there's some gunshot-related injuries of the right shoulder.
Did you have any specific findings as to this injury?
Yes.
What were those findings?
So the injuries of the right jaw and the right neck cause injury to the tongue and skeletal muscle and the right mandible, which is the lower part of your jaw. Those were injured.
Okay. Moving on to the second photo that you viewed. What is shown in this photo?
This is the photo of his right arm. So to the right of the image, that is his right arm. And most of what you can see is right forearm. And this is the front side of it, the anterior portion. You can see those 2 large defects are gunshot wounds.
Okay. Were there exit wounds on this part of his body?
Not that one. Those are kind of graze or tangential wounds.
Got it. Okay. Moving on to the third picture. And what is shown?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What is shown in this picture?
This is a photo of the right side of the body, and you can see a gunshot wound in the right wrist.
Okay.
And another defect a little earlier, a smaller defect.
Moving on to the fourth picture. Could you tell the jury what we see in this photo?
So this is the photo of Mr. Thornton's left forearm, and it shows a gunshot wound and some gunshot-related injuries of the left forearm.
Moving on to the fifth photo. What do we see in this photo?
So this is the backward view of Mr. Thornton. His head is to the right and his feet are to the left of the photo. And you can see his arms, you can see some of the same gunshot wounds you saw in previous photos, but on the back view you can see the overall view of the gunshot wounds of the back.
Okay. And moving on to the sixth photo.
This is similar but from the left approach of the body. You can see its overall view of the gunshot wounds of the left, of the back.
Okay. And the seventh photo that you viewed?
This is a closer view of the gunshot wounds of the back from the left side of the body.
Okay. So in total, how many gunshot entrance wounds were there on Mr. Thornton?
Definitive gunshot entrance wounds, 20.
And were there any exit wounds?
Definitive exits, 4.
Okay. And moving on to the eighth photo. What do we see in this photo?
So these are bullet fragments of the right jaw. These are all the larger fragments that were able to be recovered from those wounds that you saw in the right neck and jaw.
And that was from the first photo that we viewed?
Yes.
Okay. And the ninth photo?
These are fragments recovered from the torso.
Okay. And the 10th?
This is a remote bullet from the left thigh.
All right, and the 11th photo?
This is a remote bullet from the right lobe of the liver.
Okay. And the 12th photo?
This is a bullet core fragment recovered from the right chest.
And the 13th photo?
This is a bullet from the lower mid-back.
And the 14th photo, what do we see here?
This is the underside of a bullet base that was remote, that was recovered from the right buttock.
Can you describe to the jury, what is a remote bullet?
So remote is people use different words. Words can say remote or old, but I choose to use remote. Remote means it's a bullet that is related to a previous injury or previous shooting, not the shooting that led to their death in this case. It's happened before.
Okay. And how many, or do you recall how many remote bullets you might have found?
There were 3.
Okay. So, Dr. Scantlebury, within a reasonable degree of medical certainty, did you render an opinion as to Mr. Thornton's cause of death?
I did.
And what was that opinion?
Gunshot wounds of the head, neck, and torso.
And did you render an opinion as to the manner of death?
I did.
And what was that opinion?
Homicide.
Your Honor, I will pass the witness.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, Dr. Scantlebury.
Thank you, Dr.